1415, northern France. The 100 Years' War continues. After spending the autumn months campaigning in northern France, Henry V, King of England, is making his way home. But first he must contend with a large army awaiting him near the town of Agincourt. The French army, led by Jean Le Mangre and Charles d'Albert, is more a collection of arrogant nobles than an army distracted by their own bitter rivalries. While the English army is a disciplined force, led by King Henry, a shrewd commander and an inspiring presence. As the sun rises on the 25th of October, Henry moves his weary and hungry men into position, knowing they are largely outnumbered. Heavy rainfall overnight has left the newly plowed field separating the two forces a sodden, muddy mess. The French forces awake and take a leisurely breakfast, happy to wait and let disease and hunger grind down Henry's army. Knowing this only too well, Henry moves his army forward, hoping to provoke the French into rash action. Henry's gamble is successful. Lines of unprepared French knights and nobles push and shove amongst themselves, eager to engage their English counterparts. Henry's longbowmen will be the key to defeating the French, striking them down as they traverse the muddy field. To protect his longbowmen from cavalry, Henry has ordered them to plant sharpened stakes in front of their positions. To emerge victorious, Henry must survive the upcoming battle and destroy or rout the French army before him. Only then can he make his way home. Here they come!
Heavy infantry! Units, double time! Missiles, attack! Missiles, attack! Heavy infantry!
To the breach, my lord! They're sending another wave of hapless fools at us! Hold the line! Those cowardly dogs are behind us! We all know that! Oh, good lord! There's more of these French dogs on their way! Guard the king! He must not fall! Our men have slain one of their generals! the grace of God, our foe is... The coastal road north of Arsuf, September the 7th, 1191 AD. The Third Crusade began with the capture of the city of Acre, the ultimate goal to seize Jerusalem. King Richard, the Lionheart of England, saw the port city of Jaffa as a vital staging post on the road to the Holy City, and resolved to take it. Marshalling the Crusader forces, King Richard marches south to wrest the city from Saracen hands. Shadowing this invading army from inland, the great Sultan and leader of the Saracens, Saladin, waits for an opportunity to strike. Saladin draws his army into battle formation in a forest near Arsuf, an ideal position from which to launch an ambush. In readiness for the inevitable Saracen attack, King Richard's men march in a formation that will allow them to respond quickly. His archers and crossbowmen hug the coast with a screen of cavalry and infantry between them and the Saracens. Saladin springs the attack with terrifying quickness, hoping to drive the Crusaders into the sea. Only intervention by the Almighty, or a military genius, can bring us victory from this. Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain. Only intervention by the Almighty, or a military genius can bring us victory from this. My lord, only half our force remains! Only intervention by the Almighty, or a military genius can bring us victory from this. Only half the enemy force remains! Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain. Lies dead, slain by our gallant warriors. Attack while his men mourn their loss.
Units, double time! Units, sally forth!
For the moment, the fortune of battle goes our way. Let's pray the battle is very much in our... Victory is ours! Let it be a salve upon our wounds. October the 14th, 1066, Caldbeck Hill, north of Hastings in England. This land is ruled by King Harold Godwinson, the latest in a line of Anglo-Saxon kings. But Duke William of Normandy has a claim to the throne too. Years ago, Harold is said to have sworn to help the Duke to the throne of England, but he has failed to honor his oath, and now he rules as king. But the throne on which Harold sits is not a comfortable one, and Duke William's invasion is fortunately timed. Even now, Harold marches south from battle at Stamford Bridge near York, having crushed another invasion led by Harald Hardrada of Norway. Duke William was able to land unopposed, but now his scouts report that Harold's army is in sight and has formed a shield wall on a ridge crossing the Normans' road. The position is a strong one, at the top of a gentle slope flanked by marshy ground, and the enemy appear happy to let the Normans come to them. The Duke has come well prepared for battle, and has many war-hardened infantry and horsemen. But if his men cannot overcome the enemy shield wall, they will have little choice but to negotiate terms or starve. Duke William of Normandy is no stranger to war, though. He knows that if there is no way around or through Harold's shield wall, he will have to find a way to pick it apart. The Anglo-Saxons are known for their fearlessness in battle, but perhaps William can use this to lure them from their position so that his horsemen can finish them off. The two forces are evenly balanced, but there are only two paths from this place for Duke William: to the grave or through the shield wall and onwards to the throne of England. The Hussars on the enemy flanks are commanded by Harold's brothers. Killing them will disrupt our enemy's command structure. Launch an assault against them and cut them down! Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain. Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain. Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain. Redden the earth with Saxon blood. No mercy! To kill or to die are our only choices. The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men. The enemy king lies dead! The battle... Lord have mercy! God be praised! Half of our men! Our men are winning the battle! Been cut down. If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. Many of his men flee before us. The Huskarls, though, are honoring their oaths to their king, and they fight on, even to the last. Give them the warriors' deaths they crave! Are utterly vanquished. This is a great victory worthy of only the mightiest of generals. "1520, the New World." Since fleeing the Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan, Hernán Cortés and his Spanish conquistadors have been relentlessly pursued by Aztec warriors, keen to exact revenge for La Noche Triste, the sad night. On crossing the mountains overlooking the Otumba plains, Cortés and his men find an enormous Aztec host waiting for them in the valley below. The Spaniards, suffering from hunger and disease, are exhausted. However, having made alliances with local tribes, the Spaniards are supported by Tlaxcalan warriors who have no love for their Aztec overlords. Indeed, some of Cortés' Tlaxcalan guides have gone for help from nearby tribes. Even with allies, looking at the army below, Cortés and his men expect their final hour has arrived. Cortés speaks to his men, telling them that science and discipline will prevail against the vast number of Aztecs arrayed against them. The Spanish are armed with steel and gunpowder weapons, while the Aztecs, though fierce and skilled warriors, are armed only with weapons of wood, stone, and obsidian. The Aztecs, without knowledge of horses in battle, have chosen to meet the Spaniards on Otumba's open plains, rather than amongst the crags and forests that would have negated the awesome power of Cortés' cavalry. Cortés instructs his men to target the many chiefs leading their men below. After earnest prayers to Santiago, the Virgin Mother and God, Cortés and his men prepare for what will be a fight for survival. Only victory in the upcoming battle will allow Cortés and his men to see another day.
Santiago!
For
Santiago!
Jesus
Cristo!
Dia Santo! The heathens bring more warriors to battle! Oh, gracias a Dios! Our reinforcements have arrived! There's more coming from the east! Quickly! Guard, Senor Cortez! Do not let him fall! Bueno! Keep after their chiefs! Aha! There is the leader of this host! Kill him and the other chiefs will be lost! Our men have slain the Aztec chief. Hopefully his men will soon lose heart. Keep after their chiefs! Victory is ours!
1525, Mirabello Park near Pavia. The Italian Wars, fought bitterly for over 30 years by the Holy Roman Empire and France. Both sides claim ties by blood and deed to various Italian states and seek dominion over all of Italy. Spain, joining forces with the Holy Roman Empire, prompted a desperate France to launch an all-out assault on Milan, the wealthiest Italian state. After successfully wresting most of Milan from imperial control, King Francis moves his French army towards the last corner of imperial resistance, the city of Pavia. King Francis waits in his camp with his formidable gendarme cavalry near the main road into Pavia. He has deployed the majority of his army across the park, including a force of infantry to guard Mirabello Manor. The greatest challenge awaiting the imperial force is the heavily guarded French cannons positioned to protect the French king. However, all hope is not lost for Pavia's imperial garrison. Even now, General Charles de Lannoy leads a relieving army of imperial and Spanish troops. Amongst them, musketeers and arquebusiers equipped with new, powerful firearms. Under orders from General de Lannoy, the Spanish army boldly moves to destroy the French cannons to the left of the manor. The imperial forces move toward the French king's camp, determined to capture or kill the French sovereign. The Spanish musketeers shoulder their arms and move to support their imperial comrades, bracing for the bloody battle to come. The situation for the Holy Roman Empire is desperate, but defeat against the ambitious French is not an option. Here, today, at Pavia, the Empire must prevail.
General's bodyguard!
The rash French choose to attack us head-on! Let's give them a dose of imperial pike and shot! Is he really that spineless? Or does he have a plan? The French have dealt our Spanish allies a severe blow. We must brace for a new wave of enemies. King of France lies dead on the field. Now let us finish off the rest of his men, and enter Pavia as heroes! We have destroyed one of the French artillery positions. Now destroy the other!
They will go down in the records of the Empire.
All the French cavalry are defeated!
The field of Tannenberg, near the Polish border in Prussia, July the 15th, 1410. Following the defeat of the Crusades in the Holy Land, the Teutonic Order of Knights sought to carve out its own sovereign state by seizing territory in Prussia, then launching crusades against the neighboring Poles and Lithuanians. Reeling from this onslaught, the Poles and Lithuanians settled their differences. Under the guidance of the new Polish king, Władysław Jagiello, and his cousin Grand Duke Vytautas of Lithuania, they formed an alliance and prepared to fight back. Ulrich von Jungingen, Grand Master of the Order, stands at the head of a powerful army of Knights of Christ and prepares for battle. His well-equipped and battle-hardened force includes both Teutonic Order and Crusader Knights. Heavy infantrymen, crossbowmen and cannons also make the Order army a dangerous proposition. King Jagiello has summoned a huge allied army of Poles and Lithuanians who now march for the Order's headquarters in Marienburg. Amongst Jagiello's men are armored knights, the flower of Polish nobility, together with infantry and light cavalry from both Lithuania and the Golden Horde. Although the Allies outnumber their adversaries, the quality of the Order's troops and equipment means that the result of the approaching battle is no foregone conclusion. For King Jagiello, finding some way to weaken the Order army is imperative, but much grim and bloody work lies between the Allies and victory this day.
We are... outnumber the forces of our oppressors, but perhaps it would be unwise to engage such heavily armored foes head-on. The swift light horsemen of our Lithuanian allies may serve to draw off some of the Order's knights and give us time to deal with the remainder more easily. Use your light cavalry to lure the enemy cavalry away. The enemy general lies dead. We have sent the Corps to hell. Victory! The Grand Master of the Order, Ulrich von Jungingen, has met justice on the point of a Polish lance. No longer will his band of thieves be free to butcher our God-fearing people in the name of their false crusade. The arrogant fools have fallen for your tyranny. Many of their knights have ridden in a futile pursuit of our light horsemen, leaving the rest of their army temporarily weakened. Destroy the enemy's main body before their knights return. Courage, my brothers! God is with us! Fires from the field! The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men. By the Lord, our foe is utterly vanquished. Let all who remember this day remember it as a day of our most glorious victory.
(1484), Setenil, Emirate of Granada. As the reconquista of the Iberian Peninsula from the Islamic Moors continues, Spain finds its efforts revitalized by its zealous Catholic monarchs King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. King Ferdinand, leading the Spanish efforts on the field, is renowned as a skilled warrior with a passion for artillery. The Spanish king now seeks to remove yet another Moorish fortress, keeping to his policy of leaving no enemies behind him as he moves towards the Moors' capital. With a new train of artillery provided by his wife Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand builds a small artillery emplacement outside Setenil's walls and prepares to lay waste to the defenses. Built on a giant rock, with the only access a ramp carved from stone leading up to the fortress, Setenil will be as impenetrable as the stone on which it is built. The king, confident in his cannons, builds no siege equipment, believing he can destroy the walls at range and hasten the Moors' demise. The Moors stand prepared, with ample crossbowmen and artillery positioned behind the protective walls, ready to bleed the Spaniards dry unless they can quickly drive through these walls. For the Reconquista to proceed, Setenil must be captured. A hard land breeds a hard people. Today, the Spanish must be the harder.
Make haste! For the great lord! Attack! For the great lord! Attack! General's bodyguard! To the attack! Make haste!
Excellent! We have breached our enemy's walls. It is time to charge men through to slay our ungodly foe.
Orders completed, my lord. Units, make haste! Units, make haste!
Charge men through to slay our ungodly foe.
Orders completed, my lord. You're under attack. You're under attack! Units! Orders completed, my lord! Attack! Orders completed, my lord!
Our foolish general has thrown his life away, and perhaps our chances of victory with it. Only half the enemy force remains. Lord preserve us! We have lost half of our men! Give grace to God. It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory. The enemy general flees like the coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his army. The enemy general lies dead. Good riddance to that desert dog. Pray his death will break his immense resolve. It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory. Praise the Almighty! Our enemy has lost his stomach to fight. We must push our advantage. My lord! Our men are in command of the castle! Fate has been kind to us and delivered us victory. It could easily have been us out there, slain and defeated on the field.